Boker Tov, everyone. Good morning. Bruchim Habaim. Welcome to all of you, whether you are here with us in the sanctuary or here with us virtually through our Zoom or our live stream. We're so happy that you are present to celebrate Shabbat and to celebrate a wonderful event as Hunter and Isaac become bar mitzvah here in the midst of immediate family members and virtually in the midst of a larger community, Hunter and Isaac, of people who love you both, care about you, and are so happy to celebrate this important day, this milestone with you both. We hope that everyone will feel at home and will feel the energy that's coming from this room and the spirituality and the inspirational leadership by both Isaac and Hunter. Cantor Rhodes, help us to do that.
Absolutely. So we hope that we will join together in much prayer today, both singing in Hebrew and reading in English. Hunter and Isaac will be leading us in prayer, as will me and Rabbi Schwartzen, and we really hope you'll join us, whether you're on Zoom or on a virtual platform, or of course here. If you're here, you can use the prayer book. If you're on Zoom, you'll find a link to our prayer book in the chat, and you can follow along there. It's a flip book. And if you're watching on our virtual site, right above where you're watching, there's a link to follow along in our prayer book. All the pages that we announce there, you can find if you just click them in the bottom. You'll go right to the page where you can follow along and join with us in worship today. So we take a moment now for a parent blessing.
Yeah, sorry, I was just making sure everybody knew where the prayer books are in the room. They're under your seats. There you go, because we want you to be able to support our young men as we read with them. And Joe, thanks for help if there might be a missing one or two. Before we turn to that very prayer book that I'm referring to, and to Isaac and to Hunter, who are our leaders today, it's our custom here at Rosh Shalom to pause at this moment in the service to invite the parents of our B'nai Mitzvah to take their own private moment with their sons, to speak their own words of love and pride and blessing on this day. So at this time, I'd like to invite the parents to stand, and Isaac and Hunter will have a moment with each set of parents as Rachel and Jose speak, and as Josh and Christy speak. And while they speak, we share a song that marks this moment.
We continue now in our worship service on page 195 with the Baruch Hu. I invite you, if you feel comfortable at home and also here in the sanctuary, to please rise. I'll also invite up Hunter to join at the podium for his section of the service, leading the prayers. Please rise.
Please join me in Yotzeo if you are comfortable with the Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Yotzeo uvoe choshe Oseh shalom uvoe et hakom Hameir la'aretz v'ladarim alecha berachamim uvtuvo mehadesh behu yom tamid Maaseh v'reishit ma'rabu ma'asecha Adonai kulam bechol ma'asitam mala haaretz kinyanecha titbara Adonai Eloheinu el sheva ma'aseh yadecha ve'al meorei oro she'asita yifa'aru ha'sela O hadash al Zion tahir v'nizkeh kulanu mehirat zehuro Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer Hamuro. Our service continues on page 198 with the first paragraph of Ahava Rabbah. Please join me. Ahava Rabbah ahavtanu Adonai Eloheinu Hem lagedola v'teva hamalta aleinu Ba'avo avoteinu ve'yimotenu Shebatu veha Valamdehu kehayim Kein techonenu ulamdeinu Hamrachim rahim aleinu V'ten belibeinu lehavi Ulehaskil Lishmoa lilod ulamed Lishmo v'la'asot ukayem Et kol divrei tamol Toratecha ba'ahava. We continue in English responsively on the next page. O God, inspiration and guide for all, you have spoken in tongues for us to hear, in every land and every age. Your children have heard you and imagined you in separate ways, and yet, O God, you are one unifier of humanity. We give thanks for the sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will. Gratefully we recall the lawgivers and prophets, the Solomons and sages of Israel. May the teaching of Israel, we would turn to you and find a purpose. May the teaching of our ancestors live on in our minds, and the passion of righteousness stir in our hearts. Help us to live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty and wisdom of your truth. Baruch atah Adonai Aboher Bama Israel be'ahava. Please be seated. Please join me as we chant the Ve'ahavta together on page 201. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odeha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'elem asher anochi mitzaveha Hayom al levaveha Vishinantan levaneha Vidibartam bam Beshiftecha bevetecha Uvletecha vaderve Uveshofbecha uvkumeha Ukshotam leot al yadecha Vehayu letotafot bein eineha Ukshotam al mezuzot beitecha Uvishareha Leman tiskevu ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושי לאלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיהם. Please join me in the English. Love Adonai your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whenever you are tired or are rested. Let them guide you, the words in your hand. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot so that I can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. Page 203. Sing the song of men and women. Join in the understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles and oaths protected and cherished. A gift for our children. And the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content. Whose soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the peace of song.
Please rise. I invite Isaac to come up to the bima to lead his portion of the prayers.
We continue with the tefillah on page 205. Please join me as we chant the next 3 pages together. Adonai sefai tiftach ufi agite hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rahel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zoher Hasedei Avot ve'imahot, U'mevim Gidula Lifnei Ve'nehem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'matshia U'magen. Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah. Source of all being, we turn to you as did our people in ancient days. They beheld you in the heavens. They felt you in their hearts. They sought you in their lives. Their quest is ours. Together, help us to see the wonder of being. Give us the courage to search for truth. Teach us the path to a better life. So shall we, by our lives and our labors, bring nearer the world we envision, one of justice, freedom, and peace. We continue together on the next page with the giver wrote. Ata gibor le'olam Adonai, mechaye hakol, ata rav lehoshia, meshiv haruach, umorid hagashem, mechakel chayim bechesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofei holim, umatir asurim, umikayem emunato lishenei afar. Michamo haba'al gevurot, umido melach, melech memim, umechaye, umachmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata lechachayot hakol, baruch ata Adonai, mechaye hakol. We continue with the Kiddushah on page 208.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב היה נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ, כבודו. אדיר אדירנו, אדוני אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו ומלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Page 210. To all generations, we will make known your greatness, and to all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. We continue in English. Those who keep Shabbat by calling it a delight will rejoice in your realm. The people that hallow Shabbat will delight in your goodness, for being pleased with the seventh day. You hallowed it as the most precious of days, drawing our attention to the work of creation. Please join me in the singing of the Kadshenu. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, ritzei v'imnuchatenu, kadeshenu b'mitzvotecha, v'tein helkenu b'toratecha, sabeinu mituvecha, v'samechenu b'shuatecha, v'taher libeinu le'ovdecha be'emet, V'hanilenu Adonai Eloheinu be'ava uvratzon Shabbat Kodsheha ve'anu va'Yisrael mekadeshei shemecha Baruch Ata Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat.
As we come to the end of the tefillah, this section, we turn to page 216, where we have a prayer for peace, and whether it's peace personally or in our community, in our nation, in our world, most important prayer, certainly, Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha, Chen V'Chesed V'Rachamim Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael Amecha. Barchenu yotzrenu kulanu ke'echad be'or panecha, ki ve'or panecha natata lanu Adonai Eloheinu, Torat Chaim v'Ahavat Chesed Utzdaka Uvracha v'Rachamim v'Chaim v'Shalom. V'tov be'enecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, b'chol et u'v'chol sha'a bishlomecha. Baruch ata Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. O God, may we never become complacent, faltering in our effort to build a world of peace. Let the nations know and understand that justice and right are better than dominion and conquest. May all come to see that it is not by might nor by power, but by your Spirit that life prevails. And in that spirit of peace, we take a peaceful moment for our own individual, our own personal prayers, and in a few moments, we will convene together to sing Oseh Shalom, a song of peace.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's wonderful to be together with you all here in the sanctuary and with everybody over Zoom and online. It's so exciting to celebrate Isaac and Hunter today and all that the two of you have accomplished to become Bar Mitzvah. We're so proud of you and excited for you. We know that it's been a lot to get here, a year of study, a year of learning Hebrew, a year of learning the ins and outs of what it means to be Jewish in your adult life. And we're so excited that all of you are here to witness the moment when you, Isaac, and you, Hunter, officially become Bar Mitzvah as you take the Torah into your hands and chant from the Torah and then teach us a little bit as well. You've already led us so beautifully in worship, and we're really, really proud of you and excited for you. And we know that, of course, you couldn't have gotten to this moment without the loving care of your parents, which is so wonderful that they are here to celebrate with you. Mazel tov to all the parents, but also to your grandparents who've loved and guided you throughout your years as well. So it's my honor to get to wish a mazel tov to the incredible grandparents, to Larry Eisenfeld and Terry Eisenfeld, who are here joining us today. A mazel tov to you. And on Zoom, we wish mazel tov to Dan and Tracy Lima, who are joining us from Cape Coral, Florida. Mazel tov to you as well. So we continue now with our Torah service. I invite everyone who's here in the sanctuary to please rise. If you are joining us online, you may do so as well if you feel comfortable with that. And we continue by asking Rachel to take this small Torah from its stand and to pass it over from her parents to her sons, and for the whole family to stand right here in the middle between these two podiums as we continue with a song to welcome the Torah into our midst.
Isaac and Hunter, as you receive this Torah, remember its teachings, its wisdom, and its history. Let it guide you this day and all days. As you embrace it, so may you embrace what it's meant for you to be for the Jewish people over the generations. Judaism is a history and hope, learning and laughter. We pray that the story of the Jewish people continues brightly with you as you grow as a person and as a Jew. May you embrace the Torah your whole life.
We continue together with the words of Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. So I invite Rachel, if you could please put the Torah back, and everyone can have a seat, including Larry and Terry. I'll call you up in a moment, and go ahead, Isaac, to the Torah. And Josh, if you could go with him, and please take the Torah mantle off the Torah. And Isaac, you can take your mask off as well, if you want. And I invite you, Isaac, now to take your Torah packet and to tell us a little bit about the reading that you have this morning.
The Torah portion for this Shabbat that Hunter and I will be reading is called Bo. It comes from the book of Exodus, and my Hebrew reading begins with chapter 11, verse 1. In this portion, God tells Moses that God will bring one last plague on the Egyptians, killing the firstborn sons. In my brother's reading, Moses tells the Hebrews to slaughter lambs to put the blood on the doorposts. This becomes the Passover sacrifice for all time.
For the first Dahlia, Isaac, for your reading this morning, it's an honor to call upon your grandparents, Larry and Terry Eisenfeld. Yamdu Lalia Torah. You can come to this podium and then
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Olam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Hamim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayomer Adonai, el Moshe, od nega echad avi al Paro ve'al Mitzrayim ahare kain yisholach etem mizeh kashaleho kadla garesh yigaresh etem mizeh daber nach be'ozneham ve'yishalu ish me'et rehu ve'isha me'et rehuta k'lei chesef u'chei zahav vayitein Adonai etein ha'am be'enei Mitzrayim gam ha'ish Moshe gadol me'od be'eretz Mitzrayim be'enei avdei Paro u'beinei ha'am.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, notein haTorah.
Amen. Shar koach, Larry and Terry, beautiful job. You may have a seat. For the second aliyah for Isaac's reading today, it's an honor to call up his uncle and aunt, Mark and Michelle Eisenfeld. Yamdu l'aliyah Torah.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvara. Baruch Adonai hamvara li'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayomer Moshe Ko amar Adonai kachatzot halayla ani yotze betoch Mitzrayim umet kol behor be'eretz Mitzrayim mibhor Paro hayoshev al kuso ad behor hashifcha asher ahar harehaim veho behor behema v'hayita Zakha Girula v'ho eretz Mitzrayim Hasher komohu lo nichyata v'chumohu lo tosif Uchlo b'nei Yisrael lo yeheratz kelev lo shono lemeish v'abehima lema'an teidun asher yafle Adonai bein Mitzrayim uvein Yisrael.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen. Shar koach. Beautiful, Mark and Michelle. Thank you so much. For the third aliyah, Isaac, for your reading, it's such an honor and privilege to call you up for the very first time as bar mitzvah. Yamod, 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 habachor habar mitzvah, Yitzchak David bat Rachel aliyah Torah chazak.
Baruch et Adonai hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen.
Ve'aredu kol avadecha elah v'hishtechavu li lemor. Tzei ata v'chol ha'am asher v'ragleha ve'aharei kain eitzeit me'im paro bahari af. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lo yishmach alehem paro leman Revot Moftai Be'eretz Mitzrayim. Umoshe ve'Aharon asu et kol hamiftim ha'ele lifnei Faro. Vayakazeh Adonai et lein Paro. V'lo shilach et B'nai Yisrael me'artso. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Beautiful, beautiful job, Isaac. Yesher koach, as we say, mazel tov. Incredible job reading. You may have a seat, and we'll invite Hunter up to join his parents at the Torah. Our Torah service continues with Exodus chapter 12, verses 21 through 32. And for the first aliyah for Hunter's reading, it's an honor to call up on Zoom his aunt Sandy Falk and his grandmother Tracy Lima. Yamdu l'aliyah Torah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayikra Moshe lehozik bnei Yisrael vayomer alehem mishu ukahu lachem so lemishbechotehem v'shachatu hapasa ukatem aguda ezo utvadem badam asher basa veigatem el hamashkom v'ashetei hamezuzot min hadam asher basa ואתן לא תצאו איש מפתח ביתו עד בוקר. ועבר אדוני לנגוע את מצרים וראה את הדם על המשקו ועל שתי המזוזות ופסע אדוני על הפתח ולא ייתן המשי לעבור על בתיהם לנגוע.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Shakoach, Sandy, and Tracy, thank you so much for joining us. For the second aliyah for Hunter's reading, it's an honor to call upon his parents, Rachel and Josh Lima. Yamdu l'aliyah Torah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
אמן, ושמעתם את הדבר הזה להוקלך ובניך עד עולם, והיה כי תבוא אל הארץ, אשר ייתן אדוני להם כאשר דיבר, ושמעתם את העבודה הזו, והיה כי אמרו עליהם בניהם, מה העבודה הזו לכם? ואמרתם, זה בפסח הוא לאדוני, אשר פסע אייסבתם בני ישראל במצרים, בנוג פה את מצרים ואת בתינו הציל, ויקרא העם וישתחוו. וילכו ויעשו בני ישראל, כאשר ציוון אדוני את משה ואחרו כן עשו.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher koach to you, Rachel and Josh. For the third Aliyah, Hunter, it's such an honor to call you up for the blessing by your Hebrew name for the very first time as a bar mitzvah. Yamod, 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 Habachur Habar Mitzvah, Moshe Yosef Chaim ben Rachel Aliyah Torah Chazak.
Bahu et Adonai Hamburah.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hambat Leolam Vaed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Baruch Ata Adonai Baruch Ata Adonai Leolam Eloheinu Micho Ha'amim V'natan lanu Torah Emed. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Vayehi bechatzi halayla, Adonai hikachol bachor, be'eretz Mitzrayim, mibechor paro hayoshev al kiso, ad bechor hashvi asher beveit tabor, bechol bechor behema. Vayakom paro layla v'chol avadav v'chol Mitzrayim v'tehi tzaka gedola b'Mitzrayim ki ein bayit asher ein shamet vayikra leMoshe u'laHaron layla vayomer kumu tzeu mitoch ami gam atem gam bnei Yisrael Uchu yivdu et Adonai kedvarechem, gam tzonechem gan bekarchem kechu, kasher dibartem valechu, uverachtem gam oti.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher nata lanu Torah emed v'hayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch Ata Adonai noten HaTorah.
Amen. Beautiful job reading from the Torah and chanting the blessing, Hunter. Fabulous. Yesher koach to you. Invite you now to put the scroll back together, roll the scroll, and to place the mantle back on top. We'll continue with you, Hunter and Isaac, leading Haftarah from the other podium, and we will sing a song as we dress the Torah. Oh, the cousin's helping. Yay. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe.
We turn now to Haftarah, or concluding reading of the Torah service. The Haftarah that Isaac and I will read is from the book of Jeremiah, beginning with chapter 46, verse 13. Jeremiah predicts the downfall of Egypt similar to the plagues that befell Pharaoh in Moses' days. Through Jeremiah, God reassures Israel of the eventual redemption, exclaiming of Jacob, my servant, for I am with you. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nbi'im tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emed. Baruch Ata Adonai haboher b'Torah u'v'Moshe avdo u'v'Yisrael akmo u'v'nvi'ei ha'emed v'tzedek. Adabar asher diber Adonai el Yirmiyahu hanavi lavo Nebuchadnezzar melech Bavel v'hakol et eretz Mitzrayim.
Ve'ata al tira avidi Yaakov ve'al tehat Yisrael ki hineni Moshiacha merachok ve'et zarahav me'eretz shiviyam ve'shav Yaakov ve'sha'akat ve'sha'anan ve'ein mecharid ata al tira avidi Yaakov numadonai כי איתה אני, כי אעשה קלה בכל הגויים אשר הלכתיך שמה, ראותך לא אעשה קלה, וסיירתיך למשפט, ונקן לא אנקך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, צור כל העולמים, צדיק בכל הדורות, האל הנאמן, האומר ועושה, המדבר ומקיים, שכל דבריו אמת וצדק, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ועל יום השבת הזה, שנתת לנו, אדוני אלוהינו, לקדושה ולמנוחה, לכבוד ולתפארת. על הכל, אדוני אלוהינו, אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותה, יתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Amen. Beautiful job, Hunter. Beautiful job, Isaac, in reading Haftarah. Beautiful, beautiful job reading Torah. We're so very proud of you. We'll take a moment now to hear your speeches. And Isaac is going to go first. So, Hunter, if you want to go ahead and take a seat. And please share with us your words of Torah.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My Torah portion is about God telling Moses about the final plague, the killing of the firstborn. The story behind this is the Jews were slaves in Egypt, so God made the 10 plagues. He did this to make Pharaoh let us go. And even after all the plagues, Pharaoh still didn't let the Jews go and chased them down, and he and his army ended up dying because of it. I'm here to talk about doing the right thing the first time, because when you keep doing the wrong thing, the consequences get worse. Pharaoh in the story doesn't do the right thing, and Egypt is hit with 10 plagues, and his firstborn dies. Pharaoh, even after the plagues, still doesn't do the right thing, and he and his army dies. Something I don't do right the first time is I procrastinate. I procrastinate a lot, especially with school, and my work normally has a lot less quality to it when I wait and put it off. Procrastination also hurts because I wait to do assignments and eventually have 3 assignments in one night. One time I had this giant project and I had to stay up to 11 to do it, and I started around 11 in the morning. Like Pharaoh, I kept putting off doing the right thing, and the consequences got worse. Even if you think something isn't too bad, that's a slippery slope, because the consequences will get worse and worse. So deal with the problem immediately. Working to fix the habit in your life is always going to be hard, but the reward for doing it is worth it. Another thing in my personal life is I put off trying to work with problems with my relationship with my brother. My brother and I get into arguments, and sometimes I'm not very nice to him. For a long time, we've made some efforts to make our relationship better, but nothing too big to make our relationship as good as it could be. Some efforts have been better than others, like we will spend more time together, but we have never had a good, long-sustained effort to truly make our relationship better. A big problem in my relationship with my brother is how we get into small arguments that turn into big fights. The fights get really bad because no one wants to admit they're wrong. I need to work to improve my relationship with my brother, because the more I put it off, the worse the consequences get. Not working together to do the right thing and taking too long to do it has effects on the entire world. An example is COVID relief. Our leaders put off a COVID relief bill for a while. They eventually got a COVID relief bill through, but it took a very long time. People have been struggling to get food on their plate and to keep their homes, because the leaders don't do the right thing quickly, so the consequences increase. Politicians that lead the country don't want to work together to do the right thing. They only want to stick to what they think is right and not work together. With people in power not working together to help get the country through COVID, the consequences are bad, especially in times like these. We need people to work together for solutions. Now for the problems in my personal life, to work on fixing them, I need to work on fixing it. So something I can do for procrastination is to write down the work I have so I can see how much work I have and how much time it will take me. I also need to work as soon as I can on the work, so the work doesn't end up piling up. To work on improving my relationship with my brother, I need to avoid getting into fights and admitting I am wrong when I'm wrong. I can also keep arguments from getting heated by staying calm and not yelling. Doing the right thing takes time and effort, but it's important I take the time and effort to fix a problem, because the longer I wait, the worse the consequences get. I want to thank my tutor, Beth Renee, for teaching me and supporting me through this process. I also want to thank my family in person and on Zoom for supporting me throughout the whole process. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Shabbat Shalom.
Hello. I just want to say I'm so glad you all made it. Times have been tough lately. I'm so happy everyone's safe and well. My Torah portion is about when the Jews were captured and kept captive by Pharaoh. Pharaoh did horrible things to the Jews until they had enough. So the Jews asked for help. So God released the 10 plagues on Pharaoh and everyone else who was involved. And that quickly taught Pharaoh his lesson. If there was one word to describe my Torah portion, I would say karma. The reason I say karma is because all actions have consequences, not only on ourselves, but on others. We have all heard of karma, and it probably happened to you. It could be something like you made your sibling, and then you got in trouble. But in this case, it was different. Pharaoh did horrible things to the Jews, and even anyone for that matter. So God released the 10 plagues on Pharaoh, which are blood, frogs, lice, wild animals, pestilence, boils, hail, locusts, darkness, and killing of the firstborn. What I took away from that story is if you do bad things will happen to you, and vice versa. In today's day and age, if you're mean to somebody, I don't think God is going to release the 10 plagues on you. But your actions do have consequences. My beliefs are if you commit a crime, you will get in trouble or maybe go to jail. And I think that's God's way of punishing you. Your actions also have consequences for others. For example, if I talk about my friend behind his back, then he finds out, he will no longer be friends, and I have made him feel very bad and incredibly angry. It will also make him not trust anyone, so it will be hard for him to move on, and it may ruin other relationships that he has. But if you help somebody, they will probably return the favor, and that's God's way of rewarding you. It was the same when Pharaoh was in charge. His poor decisions ruined innocent people's lives. When I was in 6th grade, I just started online school, but for some reason, I didn't do any of my assignments. I lied my way telling out of my parents that I did the work, but it was deleted, until my lies finally caught up with me. I got in so much trouble, I lost all my privileges, and my parents no longer trusted me with schoolwork, and I just regretted it. It affected them because they believed me and they stuck up for me and made them look like fools. Not to mention, they had to take their time away for the problem I didn't even have. That was my common experience. That's when I learned your actions have consequences. I also want to point out that Pharaoh wasn't the only one who was affected by the 10 plagues. His workers, own people, and the other leaders were also affected. Pharaoh had a lot of help from the people. They did horrible things together. Even though Pharaoh's people weren't quite as much to blame for what happened, they still got punished. They were listening to Pharaoh when they should have been standing up to him. It is the same in today's day and age. Let us say that I'm a 6th grader who constantly picks on this one 2nd grader with my friends. I am going to get in trouble for my actions, but I'm not the only one who will get punished. My friends who didn't do the right things and didn't stand up to me will also get punished. Take a look around you and think, are these the people I want as my friends? Are these the people I want to hang around? Being a good person is not that hard. The important thing is, before you act, you have to consider the effect your actions are going to have on other people. If you do that, things will go well for you. Before we say our goodbyes, I want to say a few thank yous to some of the people who helped me accomplish this. My dad was a huge help with my speech. Even though I got very frustrated at him, we worked it out, and I'm very happy for his help. My mom, who's been tough on me, constantly reminding me to practice my Hebrew, and I'm incredibly grateful because it turned out to be very well. My Hebrew teacher, Beth Renee, who pushed me to keep on teaching me things I would have never accomplished without her. So many amazing people in my life that are there for me no matter what. I would never ask for anything else. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Hunter and Isaac, and let me be the first of what will surely be many, many people here and on Zoom and such, to say to you both, Isaac and Hunter, congratulations on so much that this day represents. Thank you and congratulations for your, as the cantor said, for your beautiful work leading us in worship, for chanting wonderfully from the Torah and Haftarah, and equally importantly, really equally importantly, for looking into this tradition, for looking into the Torah portion that is your Torah portion, and finding a message, a meaning that may help you and all of us become a better person. Because as much as we look at this story and we say, ancient myth, The idea for the Jewish people is that we look at these stories and we say, what's the lesson here for us? What can we take away to be better people as individuals and to help others create a better community and world? And Hunter and Isaac, both of you, through your words, through your reflection that was both personal and beyond personal, you've helped all of us do that, and I thank you for that today. And I think, as I was listening to you, I knew you were going to be addressing these subjects of our own behavior, the consequences of our behavior, our own desire to do better, our own realization that what we do comes back to us in some way or another, whether it's through karma or consequences. What we do matters, and what we do with others and even for ourselves alone has an impact on what the next steps are. And I want to give you one last little piece to sort of be sort of the final word to both of your beautiful words today. The Torah portion that you read from, I hope you'll remember a lot about this day, but remember too the name of your Torah portion, Bo, right? Very small, simple word, Bet Aleph, Bo. The rabbis say that there is a message that is very pertinent to the story and exactly connected to what you spoke about in the very word, the very name of the portion, Bo. Bo, they say, is a word which means, we know that the word bo means to take action, to start moving, to go somewhere. Okay, you guys, by the way, are about to head out. You're about to go somewhere, go to a next chapter in your life, reach the stage of young adulthood and go on a journey. The rabbis say that not only is bo an action word, it also is an acronym for two Hebrew words. The B or bet of bo means bracha. The aleph of bo means avera, transgression, mistake, error. And the rabbis say that in order for anyone to go successfully to the next stage of their life, just like the Israelites are about to go out of Egypt, that Moses had to go or come to Pharaoh, excuse me, in order for anyone to do that kind of forward movement, they have to carry with them their bet brachot and their aleph averot or avera. That in order to be successful on our journeys, we need to remember both the times that we're successful and also the times that we transgress, whether it's procrastinating or making bad decisions, whatever it is, we carry both of those things with us on our journey to the next chapters of our lives, to the next success that's ahead of us. The Israelites, immediately after your reading, get to leave Egypt and begin their own independent journey, just like you guys are on the edge of much independence. But remember, bo is your word. Take the good and the bad with you. The only way that you can be successful, you can't only take the B, the bet. You have to take the aleph as well, the moments when you transgressed. And remember those and fold those into who you are and what you hope to be. The rabbis have a great insight on what you need for the beginning of every journey. You guys are on the beginning of a journey. And you stood here in front of us and you talked so openly and so honestly about both your success and moments when you wanted to do better, you didn't do as well as you could. Good for you. You already got the idea of bo. Carrying both of these things with you, we hold two truths at the same time. That becomes the foundation of a successful journey. So, Hunter and Isaac, as you go forward in your journey of life, as you go forward as young adults, we hope you will indeed have many successful leaps forward, carrying with you all this stuff, the good and the bad, and bringing many blessings into the circle of your family, your community, and our world. And Cantor Rhodes and I want to both thank you for the bracha, blessing you've been today, and remind you that as you go on your journey, to be a blessing as often and as much as you can. And so we'd invite the two of you, Isaac and Hunter, to step forward here to the edge of the bima, accompanied by your parents and their spouses, everybody coming forward, the six of you, to be witness to the blessing that we bestow upon Isaac and Hunter today. Isaac and Hunter, may God bless you both. May God keep you. Just as the two of you have shone so beautifully upon us today, may God shine upon you on the journey that is ahead. And may God grant you all the things that you want, that you need, and that you deserve, but especially shalom, peace, a peace that lives within you because you make good choices and feel great about yourselves, as I hope you do today. A peace that is also between you as brothers, a peace that is a lovely canopy over this family, and that a peace that the two of you, through your many gifts, bring into our world. And let us all say, Amen. Amen. Please stay for a song.
With your two hands, prepare these words. Within your heart rests each verse. And with your our story can be told. With your two hands, hold this scroll. Veshinon tam levalecha, v'ribot abam. Set these words upon your heart. Veshinon tam levalecha, v'ribot abam. With your two hands, write your part.
And if you'll stay standing where you are, you can join us as we sing Aleinu L'Shabeach. We're on page 282 for those of you who are following in the prayer book. And as we come to this last section of our service, we'd ask everyone to please rise. Join us in Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shehu noteh shamayim v'yosed haaretz, umoshav yikaro b'shamayim imal, ushchinat uzo begofhei meromim, hu Eloheinu einon, v'anachnu koreim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
return to your seats, I invite you guys to go back to your seats and remain standing there. We turn in our prayer books to page 294. I am sure that this extended family is thinking of many beloved members who are not with you on this day, whom you have loved and lost. And in our congregation, we are thinking of many people whose yahrzeits fall on this Shabbat, and extending our condolences to all who are remembering someone. In that spirit, we turn to the words of Kaddish tome, the Mourner's Kaddish, again, page 294. We join our mourners and those who wish to join us in reciting this ancient prayer together. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalmad divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chaye chon uv'yomei chon v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam omei omaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudishah b'ruchu, le'olam mimkol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran ba'alma v'imeru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace and comfort and strength and support to all who are mourning, to everyone who is grieving, here and everywhere, and let us say amen.
Amen.
Won't you please be seated? Cantor Rhodes.
So we have a few gifts that we'll present to you in the very near future, Hunter and Isaac, as soon as we can get them out of boxes, as we've just completed our synagogue renovation. And we hope that these gifts are very meaningful to you as you go forward into your adult Jewish life. First of all, you'll receive a certificate that has the date and the Torah portion from your service, and it's signed by me and Rabbi Schwartzman and a member of our board. And we hope every time you look at that certificate, you think about this wonderful moment and accomplishment in your life. You'll also receive a copy of our Reform Movement's home prayer book from the women of Temple Road of Shalom. And you'll get a gift certificate from the North American Federation of Temple Youth to use towards travel in Israel during your high school years. You'll also receive a gift certificate from our youth committee and Tristy to attend a youth event, as well as a travel mug from them as well. And finally, you'll receive a Kiddush cup from the clergy. We hope that each time you use it on Shabbat and holidays, it reminds you of the sweetness of this moment. So Mazel Tov to the two of you. We're really very, very proud of you. We conclude our service today with Ein Keloheinu on page 322. I hope you'll join us as we sing this final song and prayer together. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Adonai Oz Moitain, Adonai Varech et Hamo v'Shalom. May God give strength to each and every one of us and bless us all with peace. Shabbat Shalom.